Hi YouTube, today we're going to talk about Hamlet, written by William Shakespeare. We're going to review events that happened in Act 3 and do in-depth analysis of characters Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Alright, let's dive right into it. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. In Act 3, Scene 1, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern report to the king, and they tell him to watch a play that Hamlet is looking forward to.
One of the main reasons why I like this book is because of all this
Manipulation
going around happening. Claudius thinks that he's manipulating Hamlet through Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, while Hamlet is very aware of everything that's going on, and he's controlling everything in reality.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are very important characters for Hamlet because they help him push his plans into motion and set the plot forward. They encourage the king to see the play The Mousetrap, which is going to help Hamlet find out if Claudius is really a killer. In Act 3, Scene 2, Hamlet finally has the confirmation he needs to prove that Claudius is his father's killer. In this act, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are the king's messengers, and in this particular scene, they report to Hamlet telling him that the king is not pleased. This is the confirmation that Hamlet needed, and unknowingly the pair helped him on his path to becoming a murderer to avenge his father's death. In Act 3, Scene 3, audience can't help but laugh at Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, who play up the role as brown nosers, sucking up to the king. This tragic flaw is exaggerated and used as comic relief for the audience. Changes in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Readers notice the change in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern from Act 2 to Act 3.
In the previous act, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern try to lift Hamlet's spirit up by telling him to cheer up, by joking with him and taking him to his favorite thing, which is theater. In Act 3, they transformed. Their drive, their motivations is to work for the king, to do everything they can for the king. And they're no longer this character that we can laugh with. They become these idiots that we laugh at. They are no longer Hamlet's friends. They are no longer people that Hamlet can trust and talk with openly.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern betray Hamlet. Hamlet has had enough, and he finally goes into action mode.
In Act 3, Scene 2, you just see Hamlet explode and express everything that he's feeling. Hamlet has had enough, and he finally wants to act. Also, in this act, we've established that they are loyal to the king and only the king. But we do not know how far they would go for Claudius before their moral compass would come in.
Let's compare Rosencrantz and Guildenstern to Hamlet.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are acts before thinking. They are confused. They are easily to manipulate. And then you have Hamlet, king of one-liners, the guy 10 steps ahead of everyone else, the guy who can insult you to your face and you not realize it. The few similarities readers can draw up is that they both are sneaky. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern try to manipulate Hamlet, and Hamlet manipulates everyone. 3 words that best describe Rosencrantz and Guildenstern: incompetent, delusional, shameless. Even though many aspects in their surroundings is very questionable, they continue to follow Claudius blindly. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern never concern themselves with asking how Claudius comes to power, why Claudius is interested in them, why he's so interested in Hamlet. They're so gullible, naive, and dumb that they easily become the king's tools, and that it's so easy for the king to turn them against their friend Hamlet. Also, they're very slow and confused in conversation, which is highlighted in their conversations with Hamlet, who's always mocking them. And they can't keep up with his double meanings and sly tone. The second word I use to describe them is delusional. Being delusional does not mean being mentally ill. It just means that you're not being realistic. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, whenever they speak about how they have a duty, they have an obligation to the king and crown and God. And it sounds like they're trying to convince themselves. In their minds, they've convinced themselves into thinking that they're these 2 guys who will do anything for the country, even if it means losing their relationships with their friend Hamlet, if you can say that they're still friends at this point. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern love the power they get from being the king's lackeys. They get to be these important characters they play up in their heads. Last but not least, they're shameless. In Act 3, Scene 1, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern lie in their report to the king and tell the king that Hamlet was not going to tell him anything. He was being very fake. And the reason why they lie is because they lied to the king and queen for selfish reasons, mostly to protect themselves. If they told the king and queen that Hamlet knew from the get-go that they were spies, it would look bad on them. Also, they have no loyalty to their friend Hamlet. They easily forget their ties with him in order to strengthen their bonds with the king. In Act 3, Scene 3, they promise to send off Hamlet to England to be exiled, to be never heard of again, with ease. And that concludes this summary and character analysis of characters in Hamlet. I give this book 3 stars out of 4, and I recommend this book to anyone who wants to feel miserable. Thank you for listening, and if you liked it, why not subscribe, like, and comment below.